How's it going, my evil residents? Today, I have a special 7,500 subscriber Q&A video. I asked you guys if you had questions for me to celebrate hitting 7,500 subscribers, and you guys surprisingly actually did have questions. So I'm gonna freaking answer them right now. And yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with the YouTube ones, and then I'm gonna do the Discord ones second. First question is from Lindsay Nelson. Would you rather the OG trilogy or the remake trilogy? And would you ever do a Save Room theme ranking? I've been wanting to do a Save Room theme ranking for a while. I just kind of have been putting it off slowly and slowly because every time I plan to do it, I think of another video idea that I'd rather do. So it just never gets done. I've started trying to make that video at least 4 or 5 times, and then I'm like, oh no, but I want to make this video, and that's how that always happens. Eventually, it will come out, but yeah, if you guys want to see that video, feel free to leave a comment. It might rush things along a little bit if I know people actually really want to watch that. As for your first question, ooh, I'm gonna go with remake trilogy because for the first three Resident Evil games, the only one that I like really, 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 really like Resident Evil 3, and for the remake trilogy, I just like them more consistently and will replay them more. I don't think one trilogy is necessarily better than the other, but if I had to pick one to like be stuck playing for the rest of my life, I would probably pick the remake trilogy. If Resident Evil 1 remake wasn't so good, that would be a much tougher question, but I'm gonna go with remake trilogy. Next question from Merchant 2023. Congratulations, you love watching my videos. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think you should rank all of the Resident Evil games as a video. I don't know. I've been kind of waiting to do that until I'm like a larger channel because that's the type of video that if you put that kind of video out too much, people are like, "Oh, this person's out of ideas. This person's washed." And it's like, I guess, but people ask for it all the time, and your list changes from time to time. So I'm gonna wait until the next Resident Evil game comes out and then make that video. Is my current plan. So I will make one eventually, just probably not in the near future. Whenever the next Resident Evil game comes out, I will make one. Next question from Xavier Colon 9124. What is my favorite video game of all time? Ooh, that's tough. I'm gonna name off a few of them. This can kind of answer your second question. Can I make a top 10 video games of all time video? I probably won't because this isn't a gaming variety channel. This is a like survival horror game channel focused on Resident Evil that sometimes delves into action games when I feel like it and when I am a little burnt out on making Resident Evil videos. So, some of my favorite video games. I'm gonna go with Halo 3, Black Ops 1. I know normie picks. Dark Souls 1. I know normie picks. Not Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1. I'm an OG, okay? I'm an OG. I'm not. I played the game like 5 years ago. Banjo Kazooie. I love Banjo Kazooie. There's a reason I use the music in all my videos. Aside from the fact that it doesn't get copyrighted, cinema. That game is cinema. Tomb Raider Legend, Tomb Raider 2013, and Tomb Raider 2. Absolute peak. Best Tomb Raider games. Absolute peak. Best Tomb Raider games. Also really like Gears of War 2. Gears of War 3 is a close second, but I really like Gears of War 2. I'd also probably put Skyrim on there. Skyrim is something I always come back to. I really like Elder Scrolls lore and stuff. Specifically Skyrim. I'm like, we need a better Elder Scrolls game. Skyrim is awesome, but please, Bethesda. I'm so excited for the Oblivion remaster. You don't even know. As soon as that comes out, I'm fucking streaming that. You can count on it. I'm so excited for that. I want to name like a couple more. Ooh, a game I really liked when I was a kid that I haven't played in literally 15 or like 20 years. Siphon Filter. I would spend hours as a child. In case you're wondering why I turned out the way I did, I would spend hours as a child tasing people in that game until they were literally combusted before my eyes, and then keep tasing them. So if you're wondering how I turned out how I did, that's how I spent my childhood. Last game I'd say that I really like is Destiny 2 with an asterisk because I complain about the game so much that I don't even know if it counts. Like I always come back to it, I consistently play it, but oh my god, Bungie. Oh my god. Do I have a favorite? Oh, and that's some of my favorite games. I probably missed some. Uh, if I think of more, next Q&A video, I'll name some other ones. But I most definitely missed some. There's a lot of games that I really, really, really like. But yeah, that's some games that I really like. If you were curious about what I like besides Resident Evil. Next question from Disabled Sean. Do you have a favorite video of mine that I've made, whether it's due to the concept and theme, or perhaps you're really proud of the editing you did behind the scenes? Glad to see me growing more. Thank you. Thank you very much. As far as my favorite videos, I really like the Black Ops 1 plot armor video. I think that's my second favorite plot armor video. The Resident Evil 5 one, I think, is the best one, though. Evil Within one is also pretty good. The Resident Evil 5 Iceberg, I put tons of fucking work into that video and it came out really good. What else? What else? I really like my Why We Love Albert Wesker and Chris Redfield videos. I'm thinking about redoing my Jill Valentine one because it's not the same format as the Chris and Wesker one. It's kind of like not as good, but I really like those. I just don't make them that often because they take a lot of work and I write out a whole essay for them and stuff. So they're just long. They're long. They take a while to make. My History of Herbs video, that one is really fucking underrated. That one is really good. If you haven't watched that, go watch my History of Herbs video. I love that video. My Black Ops 2 weapons ranked video, I basically assembled the COD Zombies Avengers for that video and it flopped on its face. Like, I'm not going to complain about 5,000 views. That's insane. Thank you all very much for that. That's still a lot of views as far as I'm concerned. But if you compare it to the Black Ops 1 weapon ranking, which got like 30,000 views, it's like, where did y'all go? Where did you guys go? Where did you go? So, I don't know. I have people asking me about making a Black Ops 3 weapons ranked video. All I will say is that I'm cooking, but it's been on the back burner because of how shit this video performed compared to the first one. That is why it has taken so long and why I have not made a Black Ops 3 Zombies weapons ranked video. It's also taken me time to like reassemble the Avengers, so to speak, for from Black Ops 2 Zombies weapons ranked. Um, two of them might not come back. I'm trying to get other people to be in the video. If there's a Zombies creator you want to see in the video, please do let me know. I would love to ask them to be on. Make it reasonable. Do not ask for Noah J or Dalek or JC Backfire. Don't ask for Lex. Do not ask for Lex. Do not ask me to put Lex in the video. Do not ask me that. 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 Aside from those, I guess by default I gotta give it to Resident Evil 7 Weapons Ranked. It's the one that initially like blew up and launched the channel, so I can't dislike that video. As much as I want to hate the audio quality and the editing quality, I can't dislike that video. Also, Chairs Ranked is cinema. Underrated video. Underrated video. Go watch Resident Evil Chairs Ranked. Go watch it. It's so good. I also really liked my Resident Evil Mercenaries build the roster video that I did. I rushed it a little bit. I wish I had put a little more time into it, but I think it came out really good. Either way, there's just some audio issues on it, which I kind of always have issues with. But yeah, that video is freaking awesome. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for that question. I'm going to move on to the questions from Discord. From the Discord. First question is from Gordon Freeman. What made you start your YouTube career? Calling this a career is a stretch, pal. That is a stretch. That's a stretch. Uh, I mean, I've always wanted to make YouTube videos consistently, but I could never get anything to grab the algorithm. I have like 40 deleted videos on my channel that like I would post it would get like 2 views, and then I would either delete it or unlist it. So I've been trying to make videos for literally years with just like no response whatsoever. I even at one point when I used to really like Taylor Swift, I made a whole like hour-long video essay about the album 1989. It got 100 views, and I was like, "I'm fucking on top of the world right now. This is awesome." And then my editing software couldn't handle what I wanted to do for the sequel video, and my laptop was also really shit. So I just gave up. I gave up. So honestly, what made me start really doubling down on it, aside from all the previous attempts that I made, was just one of my videos catching the algorithm. I'm convinced it's complete luck, and I'm just very lucky and very appreciative of that. But I honestly don't know why that video blew up so much. But yeah, that's what made me start my YouTube career is luck, basically. It's 100% luck. I've been wanting to for a while. I've just been kind of held back by the lack of response, which is maybe not super healthy. And then, yeah, just the video popped off. So I'm like, I'm committing. This is my chance. There's a fucking ant on my laptop. Get out of here, pal. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. There we go. What makes a good Resident Evil game for you? This question's from J. Robert Allenheimer, by the way. What makes a good Resident Evil game for you? It depends. I'm someone that likes action and horror Resident Evil, so if it has either good horror, good atmosphere, good action, it could literally just encompass two of those and not all three, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy. I also like the B movie cheese of Resident Evil. And if you deny that Resident Evil has B movie cheese, you're living a lie, pal. You're living a lie. Resident Evil is peak horror cheesemo. That's just what it is. It's part of the sauce. That's part of what makes Resident Evil so like iconic, is how cheesy and stupid it can be. So I guess that also is an aspect. If that's not there, it doesn't feel like Resident Evil very much. Next up from Skylad31, favorite map from each Mercenaries mode. Resident Evil 4 Original, it's Waterworld. Resident Evil 5, it's either Public Assembly, Prison, or Experimental Facility. Resident Evil 6, it's Urban Chaos, or the one on the aircraft carrier, or Steel Beast. Resident Evil 8, the one in like the farmhouse. I think it's called Bloody River. I think that one. And RE4 remake, I'm gonna have to give it to probably the island actually. The island is pretty fun in the remake for Resident Evil 4. Mercenaries 3D, I have no idea. I haven't played it. And Resident Evil 3 original, I've barely played Mercenaries, and it's also very different, so I'm just not gonna count that one. But that's my favorite map from each Mercenaries mode. Next up from Donna Dracula. Who or what is your biggest inspiration for content creation? Is my editing slash video style inspired by anyone in particular? Or do you think it's mostly just your own way of making videos? The biggest thing I took inspiration from is back between, I'm going to talk about COD Zombies again. Um, back between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, there was this period where every single Zombies creator, like Call of Duty Zombies, was making top fives and top tens. You could not escape them. But I loved them so much. I loved these videos. I would watch every single one. Didn't matter who made it. I'd be sitting there watching it. It got to the point where they ran out of top five ideas. That Smith Plays was making top five couches. That's how ridiculous things got. And yes, that is what inspired top chairs ranked. So I took that. I was like, okay, I really like these videos. They don't hit like they used to anymore on modern YouTube because they're not as like shit posty or laid back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that concept, and instead of just ranking some of the things, instead of doing like top five, top 10, I'm gonna rank everything, but keep that sort of vibe and editing style. And that's kind of where my editing style kind of sits. It's gotten better since then because I focus more on like the quality of stuff, the quality of graphics, just making the editing a little bit better. I'd say my bottleneck is still my audio editing because I think there's an issue with the USB ports on my laptop or some shit because I'll plug this microphone into other things and it doesn't have the same like audio glitch, and I've done it with like three other microphones. So I don't know. I think I just have a defective laptop or some bullshit. So hopefully that's I don't know. I don't know. But that's why I have so many audio glitches, because I'm fighting with a laptop with weird USB ports. So I would say my biggest inspirations for content creation, aside from just that era of COD Zombies content, like I know my biggest inspiration is literal slop. I know I'm wonderful. I'm such a wonderful human being. My biggest inspirations aside from that, definitely Markiplier. I've always loved Markiplier's videos. Always loved Markiplier, but not in like a weird way. I've on and off enjoyed game theory videos. If yes, there is a FNAF overlap here. Yes, yes, there's a FNAF overlap here. I don't enjoy a lot of game theory's videos, but just the general like original vibe of game theory, where it's like, what if this character had any realism applied to him whatsoever? That kind of vibe is kind of where Plot Armor came from. That and a mix of CinemaSins, which I have a whole personal anime arc with CinemaSins. I used to love CinemaSins as a kid so much, and then as I got older, I'm like, this shit sucks ass. CinemaSins is the worst thing ever. This is horrible. And then I would watch like some videos of like gaming sims. I'm like, oh, these are cool. And then I'm like, oh, these suck ass too. These are so bad. Like, what the fuck is this? There's some good ones. There are some good ones, but it's just eh. So I mixed game theory vibes with character charged for their crimes vibes with CinemaSins vibes. And I just kind of crammed them all into one and made the Plot Armor series. And it's interesting. So that's kind of my inspiration for that and the ranking videos. Other videos, just like regular video essay videos, are just like, I don't know. I watch a good variety of video essay stuff. If the thumbnail is just fucking Mr. Beast and it says it's over or something, or if the thumbnail is just like some super like deep fried picture of someone with like their weird like smiley filter on it. I'm not clicking on this shit. I don't care how good the video essay is. I'm not clicking on this shit. I'd say my some of my favorite video essayists are gonna be Izzy's, I think it's pronounced Izzy Z. I'll put the fucking channel link in the description. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm sorry, Izzy's. All I know is that they use they them pronouns. That's all I know. I don't know how to pronounce your channel name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's a great channel. What the fuck other video essay channels do I watch? Vivid Kiwi is also someone that I really liked who made videos when the Breaking Bad / Better Call Saul stuff was airing and made videos during then. I really liked his videos. Sphere Hunter, of course. Boulder Punch. There's definitely some I'm forgetting. I just can't think of them right now. So, uh, I don't know. I'll think more on that. Feel free to ask me on Discord. I'm sure I'll think of more answers when I don't have a microphone in front of me because that's how my brain works. Some other inspirations that have basically nothing to do with the channel at all. Jax Films. Always love Jax Films. My goat right there. Vaynos Crew. Always love Vaynos. Rooster Teeth Let's Plays. Achievement Hunter videos of like Halo Reach stunts. Red versus Blue. Always love shit like that. Has very little to do with the channel, but I've always loved that shit. Drew Gooden and Danny Gonzalez. I've liked their videos for a while too. And Maximilian Dude, who make Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, etc., Tekken, just fighting game in general, fighting game community videos. Always love Maximilian Dude. And there's a channel that makes Skyrim videos. I can't remember the name of the channel. I watched him years ago. He switched to mainly making Fallout videos, which is understandable completely. God, I can't remember his name. He kinda talked like this, which doesn't narrow it down because lots of YouTubers talk like this. But if anyone might know who I'm talking about, feel free to share. Feel free, because as soon as someone says it, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's him. That's him. Ooh, another really good channel that I really love is Thrifty Typewriter. Go check him out. He makes retrospective videos and Walking Dead videos, and they are cinema. They are cinema. Next up from Uncle Cantaloupe TGS. Aside from Resident Evil, what franchise do I have a passion for? Also curious what my favorite DMC game is. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a fake DMC fan. I've barely played any of the games. I know. I know. Boo and throw tomatoes. I know. Yeah, I do need to play more DMC games. I'm planning to stream them. I'm just debating if I want to skip right to DMC 3 and 5 or start with DMC 1. DMC 1 is the one that I've played the most of, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. As for franchises I have a passion for outside of Resident Evil, COD Zombies, Tomb Raider, and Dark Souls specifically, not from soft games in general. Dark Souls specifically. I am a I I've never played Bloodborne. I haven't played Elden Ring. I know I'm washed. I haven't played Elden Ring. I haven't played Sekiro. I love Dark Souls specifically. Just the world and lore of Dark Souls specifically is just so fucking good. Not to say the other ones are bad, but like Dark Souls, man. Dark Souls. Yeah, definitely COD Zombies, Tomb Raider, Dark Souls. I'd say those are my three main ones for sure. Also, Halo. I really love Halo. That's more so gameplay based than story based, but I do love Halo. I do like Halo. What type of music am I into? Mm, Oh, next question from the BJL. What type of music are you into? Any favorite band or artists? Also, any channels other than gaming ones you enjoy? Congrats on 7.5K. Thank you. I answered the last half of your question with Donna's question, so hopefully that kind of answered you. If you want some more recommendations, feel free to ask me on Discord or on Twitter or Blue Sky, preferably Blue Sky, but if you must ask me on Twitter, that is fine. As for music, you can kind of get an idea of what music I like from listening to my intros of my older videos because I used a lot of music for those. I I fucking love pop music when it's good. So basically, if there's a recession in America, if you pick out a pop song from that era, I probably like it. I do like some punk rock, punk, some metal. I'm very picky with what metal I like. Same with rock. So so picky with what I like. I've had someone explain it to me like I like melodic stuff and it doesn't matter how heavy it is as long as it's still melodic and I'm like, "You know what? That might be true." But then there's some songs I listen to that are just complete like blind gibberish and I'm like, I don't know. So specific bands or artists I'd either recommend or that I just like. Obviously, Chapel Roan, Sabrina Carpenter. I'm not immune. Rihanna, Panic at the Disco. Oh, Panic at the Disco up until Death of a Bachelor album, and then never again. Lady Gaga, Måneskin. I dabble in Nickelback. I dabble. Emphasis on dabble. Charlie XCX, Troye Sivan, Tate McRae is really good. It's nearly impossible to understand anything she says, but she's very, very good. She kind of has Britney Spears vibes, which is another person I really like. Britney Spears. So, but kind of modernized Britney Spears, especially with her performances and her vibe and stuff. Just definitely recommend her. Charlie XCX. I used to really like Taylor Swift, but I don't like Taylor Swift anymore. Kesha. Kesha is awesome. As for if you want some more like I don't want to say stronger stuff, but less mainstream stuff, which isn't even like less mainstream, it's just different genres. I'm gonna recommend or say that I like 3 Days Grace, Avenged Sevenfold, Star Set, which I know is a little cringe, but whatever, it's good. Bring Me the Horizon, some of their stuff is good. Some of it I'm like, this doesn't do anything for me. Evanescence is good. I used to listen to a lot of Hollywood Undead. I do not listen to them anymore, like at all. I think it's because I'm not a teenager anymore. Nelly Furtado, so good, so good. If you're not listening to Nelly Furtado, you need to catch up on that. Ice Nine Kills is also very good. I don't listen to them as much as I used to, but they are still good. I think I just kind of burned out on them because for a while I was only listening to them. Poppy, I love Poppy. If you pick any Poppy album, I will probably like it, and they're all very completely different. Poppy has always been incredibly underrated. Go listen to Poppy. Miley Cyrus is also very good, and not just like new Miley Cyrus. No, Miley Cyrus has always been good. Keep up. Madison Beer, I also really like, which goes kind of back to pop, but yeah. Coheed and Cambria is very good, and I'm gonna find a couple other ones that I like. Maggie Lindman, that is one that I wanted to recommend. I need to put you guys on Maggie Lindman. Go listen to either Crash and Burn off of her Paranoia album. How Could You Do This to Me off of the album with the green cover that I forget the name of. Oh my god, she's so underrated. Go listen to her. Again, it's Maggie Lindman. I Prevail is pretty good sometimes. 21 Pilots. When 21 Pilots hits, it fucking hits. When 21 Pilots does not hit, I feel so cringe. So when I like 21 Pilots, I like 21 Pilots. And then lastly, of course, the epic trio Linkin Park, Rise Against, and 3 Days Grace. I think I said 3 Days Grace already, but the epic trio, the God trio, you can't beat them. Can't beat them. And I don't know if I said or not, Marina. I also love Marina. I'm a depressed bitch. What can I say? So that should give you a lot of stuff that I like. If you don't like any of that stuff, get a better taste in music. That's all I could say. Next question from Alan Prime. Do I make any art besides my videos? Also, looking forward to the streams. I don't know what I'm going to stream next because I'm kind of busy with work. I was planning to stream on Mondays, but then I started getting scheduled on Mondays. So I don't know. It depends. I'll make sure to post a day or two before I stream so people can like prepare so they have prep time if they're Batman or something. Do I make art besides my videos? No. No, I don't. Uh, I used to really like to sing, but I suck at it. The only instrument I'm good at is like handbell choirs in a church because that's the only instrument I've ever played. So that's not super applicable anywhere. If you count my YouTube thumbnails, I love making YouTube thumbnails. So if you count that, sure, that counts. Otherwise, not really. Not really. Next up from Blaze MBZ, what got me into gaming and what is my favorite genre of games? Congrats on 7.5K. Thank you. Thank you very much. What got me into gaming was a mix of my dad and my uncle, because my dad had a PlayStation where half the discs didn't work, and that was more of a struggle of trying to actually play the games than to play the games. I specifically remember, I forget what motorcycle game it was. It was like MX versus ATV something. It had a suffix or like a subtitle or whatever the fuck it's called. You could drive cars and planes in it for some reason, but you had to like unlock them by doing missions. And if you drove to the end of the map, it would fling you backwards. Like if you tried to go out of bounds, it would just fling you backwards. I don't remember what game it is. If anyone knows what that game is called, it was on the PS2. Please, please tell me. I really want to know. But a mix of that. And I really got into gaming on Xbox 360 era. And then here's a game that I completely forgot to mention that I love, that I put like thousands of hours into. Little Big Planet 2. I love Little Big Planet 2. If I don't know if it's possible to find them anymore because I think their servers are down. But if you want some of the earliest Better Than Starlight content, go on Little Big Planet 2. I have multiple skit videos and levels on that game, and I think they're just lost to time by now. But Oh my god. They were cinema. 12-year-old me was cooking. 12-year-old me was just straight up cooking. That's all I could say. Favorite genre of games, though, I gotta go with either survival horror or just like cheesy ass action games. I love them. I love them. That's it. I know. So I'm a simple person, but also if a game has a creative mode, I will use the shit out of it. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. I know it's kind of a vague answer, but I'm not someone that likes specific genres of things. I just kind of like what I like from whatever. I don't know. I don't know if that makes me sound like hipster or whatever the fuck, but that is how it be. What slash who introduced you to Resident Evil and Dead Rising? Dead Rising I was introduced to because again, my uncle complained about the game all the time, but I wanted to play it, and we only had the Dead Rising demo, so I would just play the Dead Rising 2 Case Zero demo over and over again, and that's how I got introduced to Dead Rising. And then for Resident Evil, he bought Resident Evil 5, and I'm like, what is this game? And I played it. I'm like, oh, this is the best game ever. This is the best game ever made. And that's how I got introduced to Resident Evil, like, actually. My first time playing Resident Evil was on my dad's PlayStation 1. He had a copy of the original Resident Evil that he bought when it came out, and it was scratched to shit. If you left the main mansion, like the main room of the mansion, it would instantly crash and freeze or whatever because the disc was so scratched. So technically, that's my first Resident Evil experience. But I basically barely didn't play the game, so I don't count that. I count it as Resident Evil 5. What video have I been the most proud of? I listed a bunch earlier. I don't know if there's one I'm specifically most proud of, but as I said, Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 5 weapons rank just hold special places in my soul because they were the first videos that popped off on the channel. So definitely, probably those ones. Next up from JW Hand. Did you grow up watching Shadow Leggy videos? No? I'm gonna look that up right now. Oh, these! Oh my god, I did not recognize the name. Wow. You just unlocked, like, a core memory. Holy shit. Okay, I'm binging these later. I'm binging these later. I completely forgot that these existed. Holy crap. Okay, so yes, I did. I just didn't recognize the name. Yes, I have seen every single one of these. Thank you, JW Man. Oh my god. I know what I'm doing tonight. Alan Prime asks, why are you just so based? I don't know. What can I say? Insert the hold up. His writing is fire meme right here. Next up from John Resident with 3 gasping emojis. What is my least favorite Resident Evil game? Resident Evil, we're talking mainline Resident Evil games, Resident Evil Village. If we're talking just random ass Resident Evil games, Umbrella Corps. Captcha asks, what is my favorite Risk of Rain slash variety channel? Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. I gotta give it to this little known channel. You may not know him. It's called The Ultimate Recaptcha. Go check them out. They make the best videos. And this is definitely not the person who asked me in the first place about the question. It's definitely not the same person. I swear to God. So if you're wondering what my favorite Risk of Rain slash variety channel is, it's this one. Go subscribe to him. Gordon Freeman asks another freaking question. What is my favorite hobby slash activity? Either just playing games or making videos. That aside from working, it's all I fucking do. So yeah, I would have to go with those. I'm also a little bit of a coffee snob, a smidge of a coffee snob. I like making coffee, just like the process of it. I feel like I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, I feel like I'm, oh God, what's that coffee channel guy? What's that coffee channel YouTuber guy? I feel like I'm him. James Hoffman. I feel like I'm James Hoffman sometimes. Am I an HOI4 player? I don't even know what the acronym means, so probably not. Hearts of Iron 4. No. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I've never even heard of this game before. Wimpy Girly asks, how many pets do I have and why are my frogs so adorable? Also, why do I hate R0 so much? How many pets do I have? I only have the one. I only have Skittle. He is adorable. He is the best little frog on the planet. And why do I hate RE0 so much? Because it villainizes frogs. That's why I hate it. It villainizes frogs, and also it's just stupid. Next up from Chris's Boulder. What's your thought on the Resident Evil movie live action and animated ones? The live action ones, aside from the first two, I do not like any of them. The animated ones are hilarious. I love them because of how fucking dumb they are. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much all the animated Resident Evil movies are fun to watch, whereas the live action ones, aside from the first two, are just genuinely thoroughly unenjoyable. And they're not stupid in the good way. So that's pretty much it. I know that's kind of a vague opinion, but I don't have a specific opinion on literally any of them. Next question is from Samuel. If you could date any Resident Evil character, who would it be? Gotta keep in mind, some of these people are like 50 years old right now, and if I'm picking someone around my age, I'm gonna pick Ashley, who I would still be dating up. I would still be kind of pulling a cougar a little bit, but I would pick Ashley. Ashley seems like the most level-headed, closest to my age, very nice and polite person. So I would pick Ashley. Next question from Alan Rhyme. This is the last question, by the way. Facts or stories about Skittle?
So this is Skittles' habitat. He is currently inside the log sleeping, so I will not bother him. Hopefully he comes out before I'm done filming though. As for, I figured I would just show his setup while I'm telling the story. He's got his epic moss, and I put it in places where he wouldn't really walk that much, aka on the log or back in the corner, because it helps hold moisture so I don't have to spray him as much. This little goober poops on the wall all the time. You can see some up in the corner there. There's one in the front right here. And yeah, he's pretty chilling. I'd keep him between like 80. I try to keep him at 80. Right now he's above, which is very good. And his temperature, he's always good because thankfully I have air conditioning. As for funny stories about Skittle, there was one time where this is his second habitat. When I first got him into this one, he was exploring a lot more because obviously it's new, so he likes to run around. He did the same thing for his first habitat. He would climb up like the sheer wall right here. He would just go up and go on top of the temperature gauges, just sit on top of them, and then he would jump off and he would go all the way into the back. It's like, I was so stressed that he was gonna hurt himself. I know he's a frog, excuse me, but I would still like worry about it. And there was one time where he jumped from the temperature gauge with the red on it against the wall and then fell, and there was like a green like bruise looking thing on his butt, and I'm like, oh no, my frog broke his butt, so now I have to find a vet and it's gonna bankrupt me. I was stressed about it all day until I was watching him, just keep an eye on him, and he went into this moss right here on the log, and he climbs out of it and the green bruise is gone, and I'm like, okay, why is the bruise gone? And I find out it wasn't a bruise. This foam backing here, all the way in the back, is it's normally white styrofoam, and they paint it with non-toxic paint that is safe for his skin. And when he jumped into the wall, some of it just rubbed off on him. The part he hit the wall on, you can see it right there in the middle, where it's like whiter than everywhere else. That's where he hit the wall. And so it's just funny that like this guy, he's in there, he's sleeping. He nearly gave me a freaking heart attack for no reason. And if I had taken him to the vet and the vet was like, it's just paint from your styrofoam wall on his butt, I would have been billed like $300 for literally no reason. And I'm so glad that that was the case. But yeah, that's probably the funniest Skittle story I have. Aside from the fact that he poops on the walls, which defeats the point of me having a bioactive terrarium, which means there's little bugs that live in the dirt below his, ignore my coke nails, that live in the dirt below these leaves. He doesn't like to walk on dirt, he likes to walk on leaves because he's picky. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
So yeah, that's gonna do it for the Q&A video. If you liked it, feel free to drop a like. If you'd like me to do another one of these for another subscriber milestone, just let me know. Just let me know. I would be happy to. And yeah, that's gonna do it. I mean, I'm not gonna ask you to like and subscribe to shit if you're watching a Q&A video. I'm assuming you're pretty well into the channel if you're watching a Q&A video that has nothing to do with Resident Evil. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Stay evil, my residents.